I don't do reaction videos and shit, but I'm gonna do a reaction video. Shout out my man Bad Drew. He dropped a video about the Soulja Boy Ice-T incident from like 2008, the first viral moment on the internet and shit. And yeah, it's a couple little parts of this story I want to clear up and shit. So we gonna do a reaction video to this shit.
We back.
We back.
We back.
Did we ever leave?
I mean, well, we changed clothes.
Change clothes. You'll never know.
You'll never know. And, man, what's going on, Rios? Welcome back to TSI Podcast.
Thank
the
you for having me
podcast
back.
that means beep.
Thank you.
I'm not putting any for those who it's your maybe first or second time tuning in because it's our first or second time doing it. Welcome. It's a new venture of just sharing ideas. Some of what I'm sharing is with friends like Rios, who we just talking about other things maybe than you hear us talk about on other platforms. Just talk for the sake of talking, right?
Communication, man.
Yeah.
Communication is key.
Yeah, for the sake.
Shout out to Good King Bad Drew. That's my man and shit. Out in LA and shit. Real good dude.
Yeah, for the sake of exploration, documentation at times, right? Today is a documentation time, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because a friend of mine this morning, just to jump right into it, a friend of mine this morning sends me a video of Ice-T talking about, on the Breakfast Club, talking about his prior beef with Soulja Boy.
Never told the story. I was in the studio getting ready to do a mixtape for one of my friends. And as I was getting ready to record, they don't want to hear you. They want to hear Soulja Boy. They want to hear Hurricane Chris. They was stabbing me. Now, that's how you get an MC mad. Like, you like, what? And I just start talking.
That's half the story, but I'm gonna let him finish and shit. But it's another part to this whole shit.
Shit, I fuck Soulja Boy. Like, I don't even know who he was. I was just on.
I'm like, oh,
yeah, you didn't. But that's what you do if you want to get a rapper to go hard. They ain't checking for you no more. They want to hear this. I was like, fuck. So I went barked on this fool. I don't know. I didn't even really know him.
Yeah.
So now this tape, the dude who did the mixtape took that rant and put it at the front of the mixtape.
Oh, so it wasn't even something that was supposed to come out. You was just talking behind the scenes.
Yeah. Now that makes it.
Yeah.
You familiar with that? You remember that?
I do know about that. I do. That was like the set off for me of like the real viral back and forth beat. Like, you know what I mean? That was not on music.
Mm-hmm.
It was like on social media.
Trolling back and forth.
Like, oh, did he respond? Did he respond? And I feel like that kind of set shit off.
Yeah. And it was a time because it went from social media onto like night shows, like night talk shows and different things like that. Like it went that viral for that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, that was super viral, actually, even if it was right now.
Yeah.
Because how much viral stuff is getting talked about on talk shows?
True.
You know what I mean? Like they're not talking about Kaisana or whatever. Whoever do have a viral moment, they're not bringing that shit up.
Yeah. And for everyone who's not familiar, those who are not familiar, about 17 years ago, Soulja Boy.
Before they do this, they right. This shit was the first viral moment because we was getting phone calls from Newsweek and U.S. News and Entertainment Weekly and shit and LA Times, like magazines and newspapers and shit, as well as MSNBC and nighttime talk show. It was crazy as fuck.
Ice-T had what we calling, for the sake of conversation, a beef. It wasn't official beef because there was no actual thing that triggered them to be going at one another. Like maybe a rap song, maybe a lyric, bumping into each other. None of that happened.
Yeah.
None of that happened. It's about 17 years ago. At this time, Soulja Boy is the, I would say, undisputed king of the internet. He's fresh off of the whole LimeWire wave. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah.
You'd be going to look for 50 Cent in the club, and you getting Superman that hoe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So fresh off that, getting into the YouTube era, and he's, in terms of hip hop, the king. I feel like
He would agree with you.
he would definitely.
He'd agree with you.
And he's the. To your point earlier, I think he would agree with. He's the first person to troll somebody on the internet.
I'm giving it to him. I'm giving him the plaque.
I agree with that. I can't think of anybody who did it before that. This is still not long after, like DVDs were like the version of viral. Remember all those like fighting backyard knockout DVDs, all the little horrific DVDs.
Yeah,
it's still a minute. 17 years ago plus, I would think. But when I look at the videos, they all say pretty much 17 years. But this is a little bit different because, so I get the link, and it's Ice on the Breakfast Club talking to Charlamagne and the cast about this incident, how it unfolded. I've seen him talk about it on Holding Court Pod, and I've seen him talk about it one time on Drink Champs.
Yeah.
Right? But this one is the one I feel like it just made it like, man, we have to get to the bottom of it. Because when he tells the story, he says, I'll break it down, but then I'll also let people hear it for themselves. I'll play the video. There'll be a moment where I'll play the video in a minute.
Yeah.
But basically what he says, if you're not interested in seeing it firsthand, he's like,
Black Ice, Ice-T, Silver the Navigator, fuck Soulja Boy, eat a dick. This nigga single-handedly killed hip-hop. Soulja Boy, let me talk about Soulja Boy. Soulja Boy, I know you're young enough to be my kid, but you single-handedly killed hip-hop, man. You know what I'm saying? I can't fucking from it. All that shit is such garbage. You can't do that, man. We came all the way from Rockham.
I'm in the studio. I'm recording this mixtape with some friends, and he's joking in the booth, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they take the song and they put it on the beginning of the mixtape, and it goes viral from there, which is basically true.
What about the part where he says, y'all was, the young, some niggas was pumping him up, like getting him ready for a fight?
All of that was true.
Oh, that is?
All right. So that part, I wasn't in the studio for the whole time. So I was in there at the beginning. I left for some shit, and I came back towards the end. So when I left, all of this shit happened. I didn't know this shit happened. Like, I wasn't in the room for when they was stabbing at him and shit about the Soulja Boy shit or whatever the fuck. Like, I didn't witness that shit happen. So I had no idea that shit took place.
I got to give it to the big. All of that is true. So let me tell you the story. Ice-T is working on I guess it was a mixtape. I thought it was an album at the time, but now that I think about all the names and faces that were on there, it was a crazy eclectic mix of like underground and like.
All right. It was two separate projects. The mixtape was to promote the album. So the mixtape was a mix of old Ice-T hits and shit, songs that he's known for, mixed in with some of the records on the Black Ice album. So that was the mixtape done by DJ Cisco. The album, Black Ice, which was Ice-T and Black Silver Urban Legends, that shit, the Urban Legends was an LP. That was an album. It was featuring a lot of West Coast giants and shit, but it was an album. The mixtape with the clip on and all that was a promotional thing, mixed by DJ Cisco in Chicago, and it was definitely done for that reason, for the purpose of being a separate project to get people ready for the Urban Legends release and shit, to refamiliarize motherfuckers with Ice-T's catalog in a nutshell.
Right. Gangster rap.
Okay.
Artists, right? You got Black Silver on there. You got AC Alone on there. You got Too Short on there. Like, you never see albums with this kind of mix. It was produced by this producer named Bionic. Really dope dude. And Silver was Black Silver. So it's a collaboration mostly with Ice and Black Silver.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Ice and Black Silver as Black Ice.
Black Ice, okay.
Doing this mixtape featuring all these people.
Right.
Cool. At that time, they're working on the album. I don't want to get into the business of, but somebody's paying for the album. It's a whole thing. I guess that's why it's a mixtape, because it wasn't going to go on
record
Ice-T's. Yeah,
Yeah.
through a record label. Wasn't going to do any of that. It was just going to be, I guess, a mixtape. So he's right. They're working on it. All these dope people are jumping on it. They finishing it up, and it's time to throw the release party. Start promoting the record, right? So at that time, I'm
Also, for clarity, for this album, this project, I was the marketing director. So I had a verse. I did a couple verses for some songs, but that wasn't really my job. For this project, I was in charge of all the marketing, like from getting the t-shirts to me and Bad Drew coordinating on the shows, getting the mixtape done, whatever was to promote the album and shit, like that fell under my purview. So I was the marketing director under Unlabeled Multimedia for the Black Ice project. So the mixtape was a part of that promotional vehicle and shit to push the album, just to clear that up.
on a run of like sold out shows everywhere. All my shows are going up. So they like, you throw the show, which another day, another dollar. I'll talk about how the show went, because that was a whole nother
I want to hear about
crazy story. Messing with my record.
The show was fucked up, but we'll get into that in the other video. If we do that, I'll react to that shit too, but the show was fucked up. To no fault of anybody, but the show was fucked up.
On my record, but we're like, okay.
Oh, messing with your record.
Yeah.
Oh,
but you know, you got to know your boundaries. It was in
Yeah.
Long Beach at the Vault.
oh, you guys.
And, yeah, I'm not a Long Beach
East
dude.
side, like
Yeah, I'm not a you more like, yeah, see.
yeah.
So
Vault 360.
I'm like,
oh man, it was a trap.
man.
It was a trap.
And we on the west side, so we really don't really know that either, right?
We
Long Beach show, we was getting ready for long, like, Bad Drew, you the reason my license got suspended in California, boy. From that whole shit, the Vault 360 show, the setup for the Long Beach shit, nigga, like, this shit was a wild time, dog.
Right.
we would be waiting like, guess who's coming
Yeah.
to Vault 360?
Oh, see.
Guess who's coming?
Years later, I didn't
Yeah.
even know.
Yeah, you know what I
So,
mean?
but I did know that our audience and the crowd that I bring is in LA.
Yeah,
We
Yeah.
Crenshaw District, we could do Hollywood, we could do Santa Monica, we could do Silver Lake, we could do Eagle Rock, Echo Park, all these areas I could do no problem. But Long Beach, I'm like, dang, I don't want to be in Long Beach, but they got it. This is kind of their setup. I'm just jumping in there to help guide the ship in terms of this event, right?
yeah.
But knowing that,
Hold on. So I'm gonna break this shit up. That's part one. We're gonna get into part two in a minute, but I'm gonna go through and tell the other side of what happened so the whole story can eventually be told and shit. But